Hi there, and welcome back to Stubbs Aquatics. I know behind me isn't my normal background, but I do love this room, and I love the live plants in it. This video is going to be about, reaching goals and setting goals. See, like I probably said before, my next goal is to hit 2,000 subscribers, and I'm well on my way, being I'm over at 1,600 subscribers now. I'm hoping by the end of the summer to be at 2,000. But without the support of others, I would not be there. So this video is about giving back and sharing other great channels with people. So there's a shout outs throughout this video, and the people that I'm giving the shout outs, some have only a few hundred and some have several thousand. But it's the interest in the channels that I'm really wanting to share with you. See, I enjoy all of them, and they're great. And you're going to learn from these people. People often ask me why I do shout outs, because it could potentially take away from my channel. And again, this is me. I like to give back, and you know, this is part of the hobby, learning from one another. I'm not going to say it's all kumbaya, big hugs, because we all know that's not true. All the channels that I've mentioned will take the time to answer your questions, and they'll be show interest in your channel as well. So make sure you check them all out. Give their videos a watch, subscribe if you like them, and let them know that I sent you over there. Well, come on with me and let's go check them out. Again, these are some really good channels. I wouldn't send you to places just for the sake of it. These are really great channels that I highly recommend. First up, we have a couple from the UK. It's a his and her channel that they feed off each other perfectly. They really know their stuff. They have all kinds of videos on how to and a variety of fish, not to mention when they showcase their own tanks, like I'm showing you a few clips of right now. They're just amazing. They're spotless, and they may have some barbs that may have drawn my attention, like those drape fins, which are relatively rare here. They're beautiful fish, and what a pristine setup they have for them. Because drape fins they're a needy fish, and these ones certainly look healthy, as do all their barbs. Now, they don't have just barbs, but it certainly got my attention, and I want to thank Jeff from Pelham's Aquatics who introduced me to them. Thanks again, Jeff. I really appreciate it, because I'm really loving this channel. Again, they have all kinds of great videos, and well, from everything from cories to shrimp to snails to barbs to live bearers. They do some breeding, and when I say they do some breeding, I'm kind of like a understatement. Like, for example, these melon barbs. They just amaze me on how they breed them, and it's so simple. But look at how many melon barbs are there. Like, that's just, well, that's an explosion of them. And all kinds of the tanks that they have. And what I like is they have their barbs mixed with other species and other fish as well. And I think that's a really cool idea. And yes, there are some snails for Jeff. That'll keep him happy. But what a lovely bunch of fish that they have. And I'm showing you clips from their fish room tour. I highly recommend that one. This is one of my favorite tanks of theirs. This being their Roseline Shark tank. I think it's their biggest tank, and it's a show tank. Now, you won't see Mr. and Mrs. Aquadiction in front of the camera, but boy, do they do some great work behind the camera. And if you time your viewing right, like I did, you'll even hear them sing for the camera. Yeah, you got it. They're pretty funny.
Make sure you check them out. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, I talked about setting some goals other than just numbers. You know, because numbers are just, well, they're numbers. But other goals that I've been setting is, well, I need to redo the pond. And I kind of like your input to see, you know, would you like to see it go by stages, or would you want to see it from start to finish all in one video? That being, I have to replace the liner, I have to dig it out, I have to change the pond around a bit. And, you know, should I put it in a few lives? What's your thoughts?
Next up, we have Morning Driftwood. You gotta love that name. Um, I don't know where they're going with it, but I like it. Anyways, some really great visual on this. Now, you have to realize I did a screen grab on this, so this is really taken away from their quality of their video, so please forgive me on that. But look at the colors on this. And this, again, is a screen grab of me just taking it with my camera off the TV. And sorry, there's a bit of a glare, but look at these tanks. They're absolutely stunning. Everything in them. It's just visually appealing. And it's usually set to music. It's just really great. And the quality of fish that that they have is just, well, it's amazing. And like, look at the footage on this, because these are a very small fish, and to get them interacting like that is amazing. And these blue emperors, they're beautiful. I've never seen them before. I've seen emperor tetras before, but never the blue ones like that. They're just beautiful. And the pleco collection, it's pretty amazing. You'll definitely have to check out this channel, because it's an up and coming channel, and it's going to start growing quickly, because just everything in it is just, it's visually appealing, and it doesn't hurt that they're really good people, and they have all kinds of varieties of fish and fish tanks. So, and including on how-tos, because this was a hardscape that they started, and they showed you from right from the beginning right to the end, and including the filtration that they added. Again, it's just a great channel. I'm really enjoying it. So I hope you'll join me and subscribe, because you definitely won't be sorry. Again, great channel, and I love that name.
I was talking to my family, and they suggest that sometimes I do some live long videos of just the ponds and nature, and just let it play for a few hours. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something you'd be interested in, or is that just someone trying to get extra screen time? I really do want an honest opinion, because, well, your opinion matters to me, and I know this is my hobby and what I want to do, but I also want to respect the people who are following me. So I am interested in your opinion and would love to hear back.
Next up, we have another great channel from the UK, being More Cory. That being Anthony Morris, or Tony. Tony is a bit of a, well, he's into everything, and that's what I really like. I mean, he's got some amazing koi, don't get me wrong, and I love his koi pond. And, well, they're stunning. He also has some fish tanks where he raises up some young tosai, and they are really beautiful fish. But he's also a well-known photographer. I didn't know that until I did a little bit more research on him, and he does some amazing wildlife photography. Some of these pictures are just, well, they're very inspiring and beautiful. So I wasn't surprised to find out that he was into astrology and stargazing. Wow, what a telescope. He took some pretty amazing pictures, and again, I did a screen grab, so sorry about the shadow in the background. That's just me. But it's beautiful. And he really is amazing. All the stuff that he's into. Great guy and a great channel. And, you know, his gardens are, well, they're beautiful. So if you're into gardening, this is one of your channels. Because he's a gardener. I just hope my wife doesn't say all this, because I don't think I could catch up to this. This is beautiful. I'm very impressed. His pond is beautiful. He's constantly working on it and adding to it, and he's adding a great filter system. Now, some of his choice of friends, only kidding, they're Vince and Skeg. Great guys, great channels. He sure has a passion for his koi, and you can see that his koi are doing well in this system. He's recently purchased a new tank, and it's, well, as you can see, it's a big one. Tony's recently hooked up a couple backy shower systems, both for his new tank and for his pond, including some great use of some biomedia. Make sure you check out his upcoming videos and his channel. Sticking with the UK thing, being that a lot of channels, good channels, come out of there, we've got Daniel Keeping Fish. Funny guy, a great storyteller, and he's really down to earth. One of those guys you just, well, you'd want to sit down, chat with, and have a beer, or 2, or 10. Beautiful roseline sharks there. You know you have a good channel when you only have less than 7,000 subscribers, but yet get 68 and 104,000 views. Daniel comes up with some really amazing topics, including this one about making your aquarium room safe for kids. And he's, like I said, he's a great storyteller. I hope he doesn't mind that I screen grabbed this one, but being that I have grandkids, I found it very interesting.
2 things to care for that add interest and wonder to our worlds. The two don't always coexist without the odd mishap or disaster, but do they? How many times have you seen that in an online forum? Help, my wee one spilt a whole can of food in a fish tank. What do? Maybe they've dropped a sweetie in for the fish to eat, a fizzy sweetie, or their favourite toys. Sometimes, well, there's a bit of a more significant incident that happens with children and fish tanks. So, I've come up with a few ideas, a few ways that we can prevent disaster occurring. First off, we'll look at the food, and it's as simple as keeping it out of their reach, isn't it? And the packets I've got stay on top of my tall tank, so that should prevent the wee ones getting hold of it. Should, I say. Some of these human fry are ever so inventive.
Like I said, he's a great storyteller. I particularly really like this video on do-it-yourself root tabs. He openly admits it's not his idea, but sure shows you how to do it.
So Dario are tiny wee fish from India. They come from slow-moving streams and rivers, probably the edges of them in fact, where they can get a bit of cover. If they were swimming in the open water, bigger fish will surely gobble them up. This fish under one of the many names it has, such as a red-lined torpedo barb or a roseline shark, but I know it as a denison barb. Little freshwater puffer fish that only get to about an inch long and can be inquisitive and intelligent, cute and curious, at times brutal and can bicker with each other. They can be fascinating and ferocious.
Like I said before, Daniel is a great guy. For all the how-to projects, everything you need to know about plants, fish, breeding, equipment. With almost 2 million viewers, he must know what he's talking about. Daniel's channel is not one of those that is too big that he doesn't find time to answer you or even take suggestions from you. So it's well worth subscribing if you haven't already.
I'm looking at doing another premiere in the near future. And again, it'll be on my Shabumpkins, just before they go outside. I think you'll find it interesting how much they've changed, which ones I think I might keep now. And let me know what you think about it, if you'd be interested in watching it, and if you like the premiere. Because the last one I thought went really well, and we got a lot of new people that shared information back and forth, which I really liked that. It was a good interaction between all kinds of people, from gardeners to aquarists to pond keepers and everything else in between. So let me know.
Next shout out goes to Aussie Aquatic. Colin has almost 10,000 subscribers, and every one of them well deserved. See, this guy is like the pro at growing plants. Could you imagine having to complain that your plants are growing too well and have to take a post saying, anyone want any plants? I wish I had that problem. Look at the roots on these. Colin really knows his stuff, and he's got a great sense of humor. He'll keep you in stitches all the time. One of my all-time favorite videos of Colin's is where he shows you how to do a 3D background with live plants.
It is dense and lush, looking fantastic. And I mentioned to these catfish, I've had a huge range of little animals and critters breeding in this tank, with all fish in here, and they all like to have lots of plants in an aquarium. It gives them somewhere to hide, somewhere to explore, and it gives all the different fish somewhere to get some private time. And in particular, the emperor tetras have made the most of this plant background. They've been breeding like crazy, and I literally got hundreds of them. Now, with your plants over time, they need time to grow. Particular have just really taken off and almost taken over this tank with, I would say, hundreds of emperor tetra babies. So all fish seem to really enjoy having plenty of plants in an aquarium. And because these plants are all on the back wall, it still gives you plenty of space in the front of the tank, so you can really enjoy your aquarium. So here are the steps to make your own.
Now during the video, he takes you step by step from getting the matting to cutting it and making grooves to put Java fern and other plants inside. He takes his time and explains it well, and then hooks it up to the aquarium. He's one of those guys that is more than happy to help you out and give you advice. I really like that. This truly is one of my favorite channels. So if you like to learn about plants, fish, and even some Aussie facts, this channel's for you. Well, if you haven't guessed already, our last shout out is to Mike at Jesters Koi. Mike's koi pond is a raised pond, and is definitely one of my favorite raised koi ponds. It's covered. You can't see any of the filtration. He's just done a marvelous job making it look, well, it's beautiful. Mike is just one of those really nice guys that he's very supportive, and Mike is a man of his word. If he says he's going to do something, he does it, and he does a great job of it. I find him to be very personal and helpful. He does great DIY filtrations, that being his own, and how he's hidden the backy shower. I really like that. He's got a really great quarantine tank set up. And, well, like I said, he's a real likable guy. How can you not like that face? He also has a real mischievous dog that rules the backyard. Do we know anyone like that? Marley?
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, go visit some of these channels. Let them know I sent you. And if you liked what I put together, please hit that like button. Think about subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Take care. I'm also...